this piece about 3 years ago and read it at a rally. But for some reason that footage has been lost, so I am re-recording it. So enjoy. The America I want to live in has not been born yet. Land of the free and home of the brave, with liberty and justice for all. America has her wonderful qualities, and these are wonderful sentiments. It's just too bad that they've never been literally true for everyone. When families were separated at the border and children put in cages, I heard it exclaimed, "This is not America, this is not who we are." Au contraire, a trip down memory lane will prove otherwise. The very foundation of this country was laid with acts of germ warfare, rape, pillage, and plundering the land from our Native American brothers and sisters. We put them on reservations, separated families to put their children in the white man's school and teach them the white man's ways. We forced them to give up their culture, which is enmeshed and definitely entwined with their spirituality. The treaties we made with them were broken consistently. We reduced a very wise and proud people who not only took care of the land but were one with it into having record numbers of alcohol, drug, and suicides among them. And then we chisel a ginormous monument to the 4 white men who helped to take their land as an eternal reminder, or maybe a giant middle finger. There is your foundation for greatness. Tragic. Next were our African American brothers and sisters, some indigenous, but most brought over against their will. They were to work the fields and make white wealthy landowners even wealthier. We did unspeakable things to their souls by again separating families, the father being bought by one family, the mother by another, and children often never seen again. These are a very regal, spiritual, forgiving group of people that we reduced to animals and hung in trees. Are we great yet? We owe a debt of gratitude, honor, if you will, to our African American brothers and sisters. And yet there are a record number of black men that are incarcerated in our for-profit prison system. Almost as many as there were enslaved 10 years before the Civil War. Not to mention being gunned down on the streets unarmed. This is an act of homegrown terrorism. These are American citizens. Don't think it can't happen to you too just because your skin is white. Yet another tragic brick in the foundation of America. In the 1940s, we took our own American citizens of Japanese descent and put them in internment camps, letting this toxic fear go unchecked. This time we didn't practice separating families. Oh no, we just insulted and traumatized the whole family altogether. And again, I have found the Japanese people to be humble, kind, respectful, hardworking people. Suffice it to say, we weren't exactly welcoming to the Irish or the Italian immigrants, and being Muslim in America after 9/11 had to be a frightening and hellish reality for those in this country, and probably still is. The current travel ban is in reality a Muslim ban, directed at only the countries where 45 does not do business. And the Supreme Court justices just upheld this decision. So remember in November. Now fast forward to today, where we have brown-skinned people seeking asylum at our borders. And they are doing this because of the atrocities going on in their own country. Some traveling on foot for thousands of miles. They've heard for years that the Statue of Liberty has stood as a beacon for immigrants and even proclaims, "Give us your tired, your poor, and your huddled masses." But today when they get here, they are greeted with hostility and separated from the only thread of security they know and put in cages. They come here seeking only the basics of human rights. As we as a nation have the resources to help them, but we would rather spend our resources on war and making the 1% wealthier. And then blame poor people for the deficit. And this is the granddaddy of them all the while proclaiming to be a Christian nation and acting anything but. Are we great yet? So we have red, black, yellow, and brown-skinned people, all being oppressed by the white man. The glaring root of this problem is systemic racism fed by capitalism. Capitalism is nothing more than whitewashed slavery, pun intended. We do have evidence of some conscious capitalists like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, but when you have a system of extreme haves and have-nots, there will never be equality. If we truly want liberty and justice for all, radical restructuring or replacing this system that has never worked well for everyone equally is sorely needed. So if you won the skin lottery, meaning your skin is white, you have what is known as white privilege. It doesn't mean your life has not been hard. It just means it has not been hard because of the color of your skin. And with every privilege comes responsibility. No exceptions. It is increasingly clear that it is the responsibility of white people to speak up, and especially white women. Our God-given feminine energy is sorely needed right now to balance out the warring male energy that has been dominating for centuries. I'm asking all people, but especially white people, to speak up for marginalized groups, but especially for those who will never be heard outside the context of ingrates complaining, and only because of the color of their skin. The time for being comfortably numb is over, and we do not have the luxury of the slow roll of gradualism. So please find your voice, your courage, and your tribe. Have the heavy conversations about race, the uncomfortable ones, because unless we confront it, it will grow and grow and grow. But most importantly, cast your ballot in November and vote for those who are truly in alignment with social justice and equality, and not just giving lip service to it. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are one human family, and we need to start behaving as such. As Martin Luther King said, we either need to learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. So now is the time. We are the ones. Let's get this done.